Welcome back to the channel, guys. Man, it is 2021, the first video of 2021. And at this point, I think I'm just happy that it's not 2020. I think most people feel that way. So today we're talking about Volcan Mountain. Now, Volcan Mountain has a special place in my heart. This was one of the first hikes that I tagged along with a few friends of mine when I first started to really enjoy the hobby, really get into hiking. And I loved it. And I remember hiking this up and down and then feeling like, I gotta do more of this. So I'm really happy that I got to go back on a beautiful day, get this footage for you guys, some of these photos. So let's cut into the B-roll, then we'll come back and we'll talk about trail details, how to get there, and everything you need to know to make sure you are prepared and you enjoy this hike. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that. When you have clouds like that over a hike, it makes it so much better for photography. I feel like I can actually use the photos. Dark blue skies is a topic, photography related, that I will cover a little bit later in the year. You generally don't want to have photos with just this dark blue sky. It looks really ugly. There is a few tricks in Lightroom that we'll go over on how to potentially fix that a little bit, but that is not this video. So let's talk about Volcan Mountain. Volcan Mountain is a 4.9 mile heavily trafficked out and back trail located near Julian, California, that features beautiful wildflowers and is rated as moderate. The moderate part of this really is the first half. It's just pretty much uphill. So that's really the battle. After that, it levels out, gets really gorgeous, very enjoyable. So the length, as I said, 4.9 miles, elevation gain, 1,227 feet, route type out and back. And I think these two reviews here pretty much cover it. Beautiful views, steep incline with a wide path, definitely a good workout going up, but worth it. The Powell Bench Trail, I will talk about that. Well-maintained trail, easy traveling, good footing, long sustained climb, great 360-degree views. Yes, all of that is very true. Before we jump into additional trail details, let's just talk about how to get there. So as I mentioned, this is pretty close to Julian. Now, easiest thing to do really here is just to show you in relation to Julian. So if you know how to get to Julian, you can Google map that very easily. It is about a 6-minute drive from there, and you can just Google map Volcan Mountain Trailhead. You can see from Julian, you can go either direction, leads you to the same place. Make sure you don't end up on the road here. That's the Valley Apple Farm, because a lot of people do that, but it's a dirt road and you'll want to drive on this, and then you'll see on the right hand side a sign that basically says Volcan Mountain Wilderness Trailhead. All right, now let's talk about the trail details. As I mentioned early on, it's just pretty much steep, very wide path, but steep. It's not until you get to this turnaround here that it starts to level out, and the incline is very gradual, and this is where the majority of those like very beautiful views are. Now in a separate video in the near future, I will be covering the Five Oaks Trail, which is a side trail that you can do, adds a little bit more distance to the overall Volcan Mountain Trail. So there are some great views of Julian and just overall west as you hike up in that first half, but again, most of it is just, it's in the shade and it's just steep. So that's really the good part of the workout. Once you get into this open space here, and again, you start to turn, go up and make a turn, that's where you start to see some of the more interesting things on the hike. So as you make this right-hand turn here, there's a few different vistas and a few different viewpoints that you can check out. The first one is the Volcan Mountain Observatory Outpost, and I'm getting this straight from SoCalHiker.net, and I'll read a little bit about it. The site was considered as a potential location for the Hale telescope that was eventually located at Palomar Observatory on Palomar Mountain. So they used these outposts as potential sites between 1928 and 32 to evaluate night sky conditions. The chimney remnants of the foundation are all that remain of this structure today. So it's pretty cool. You can hike and just kind of check it out, read a little bit about it, look at the old chimney. You'll keep going and you'll see, I don't remember what the name of it is, but it's like those binoculars, you know, when you were little, you could put a quarter in, they would turn on, you could see far away. I think they just are binoculars. Anyway, there's a stopping point there with a bunch of rocks and some really, really great views west. Now to the west, straight here from SoCalHiker.net, you have views of downtown San Diego, the Pacific Ocean, and even on a clear day, Catalina Island. And honestly, you just get really beautiful views of the mountains up there in Julian. To the east of that, you can see Whale Peak and Mount San Jacinto and the Salton Sea. You'll keep going. There is another viewpoint near the top. You can look left, and that's where you can see the Salton Sea. And there's a sign there. You can even see Palomar way off in the distance. And the very end of this trail here is this loop, right at this loop. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there is something here off to the side. It's a little hard to spot, so just make sure you're on the lookout for it. It's the Charles Powell Memorial Bench, and it's a great spot with really nice views to just sit, have a snack, take a break before you head back down. Would definitely recommend you make that slight little detour. And as I said, you'll loop, and that about covers the trail. You'll be on your way down. Most of it is just downhill, so pretty easy on the way back. Very enjoyable trail for this being about 5 miles. And I think I'll end this here. Successful first video of 2021, hopefully. If you have any questions about this trailer or anything that I talked about, make sure you drop it in a comment down below. If not, make sure you follow me on Instagram at instagram.com/beautyiswild with 2 eyes, the YouTube channel at youtube.com/beautyiswild with 2 eyes, and the website at www.beautyiswild.com with 2 eyes. With that said, I'll see you guys soon.